hear you.
Great. All right, so this will hopefully be really 5 minutes. Okay, the date's wrong. Sorry about that. The Zoom stuff is covering up my controls. All right, so here it is. What's this? What's going on in this EKG? Just yell out answers. Or put them in the chat.
Paced rhythm.
Paced rhythm, okay.
Yeah, it looks like dual, like Bill said, AV.
Okay, AV paced, yeah, okay. Left bundle branch block, wide, absolute, all of those are all true. What else? All right, let's go forward then. So paced rhythm, that's what we figured this would be, right? And it used to be, in our in our old thinking, that if someone said they had to do an EKG with a paced rhythm, that's all you could say. It's paced. That's all I can tell you about it, right? And the same thing about left bundle branch block. That left bundle branch block, which paced rhythm is really a subset of, because the pacer is usually somewhere causing that kind of morphology. That it obscures everything else. And then, we would always also used to say a new left bundle branch block is a semi-equivalent. That's a kind of old thing that's probably even outdates when you guys were in med school, hopefully. But it's something that we used to say. But the new thinking is, there is a lot that we can say about these EKGs, and not all of those old left bundle, or the left bundles that are not known to be old, are STEMIs, but some of those are, and some of those paced rhythms also are. One good rule of thumb, is to always get serial EKGs if you have a question, because dynamic changes are usually represent an acute process. And old EKG is a serial EKG. It's just one from days, months, years ago. But if you don't have the benefit of that, get one in 10 minutes or get one in 30 minutes and see what's going on. Usually we can't get one in 10 minutes because by the time we see the EKG, it's already been 10 minutes. But you get one half an hour later and you see, whoa, this does not look like the previous one, then your spidey senses should be tingling. All right, so paced rhythms are hard to decipher, right? And so here's a picture of paced rhythm from our department, and all you see those big pacer spikes, a wide complex, which is what we saw, left bundle type morphology. It depends where that lead is depending on what the thing is going to look like. And then the same thing we said with left bundle branch blocks. Okay, but we can say more than that, and we have the Sgarbossa criteria here, which you can see the sensitivity and specificity. Sensitivity is not so great, so it's not picking up all the ones that we want it to, but the specificity is. Now, in this, you would, I think, really would rather have it be the opposite way, right? We would rather have higher sensitivity than specificity because we want to pick up the ones that are there, and it's so that we can do further testing. What are the Sgarbossa criteria? First of all, you have to have positive concordance. That's one of the criteria. And so you can see here that the ST segment is in the same direction as the QRS, right? And it can be just as little as 1 millimeter, because usually when you have a paced rhythm or you have a left bundle branch block, they're going in the opposite direction, which is called a discordance. So this one gets a whopping 5 points for that. Right, so negative concordance gets +3, but it can't just be any negative concordance, because we know we need to have, this is negative concordance. I'm sorry, I was talking about discordance. So negative concordance gets +3. So again, most of this is going downward, the QRS is going downward, and you have this going in the same direction, right? And so you have that going there. And then the next one here, pictures are covering my screen. There we go. Okay, so here we have discordance, and extreme discordance is the other picture. That's only worth 2 points. And that is where you have 5 millimeters going in the opposite direction, because we know, especially in those pictures that we just saw earlier, that you're going to see the ST segment is going to be going in the opposite direction from the QRS. So it's got to be extreme. It's got to be greater than 5 millimeters. And so that has a sensitivity of 36% versus something better that we might want. Can we do better? Of course we can. All right. let's see. Oops. So this is what we had before. And so when we do the modified Sgarbossa, and I think this was created by Steve Smith of the Steve Smith EKG blog from somewhere in Minnesota. He's got a great EKG blog if you want to like get into really I mean, sometimes I get into some details, like he's calculating formulas. I'm like, you know, and I'm not doing math, just telling me what to look for. But this extreme discordance then increases the sensitivity to 90%. You can see here. So it's much, and so really what it's saying, it's not 5 millimeters, it's just greater than 25% of the QRS depth of ST segment elevation. The specificity, of course, is going to take a bit of a dip because they're, you know, these are a balanced trade-off. So let's look at this EKG again. And when you do see it here, now you can say, all right, if you're using the modified Sgarbossa criteria, this one maybe is it 25%? So look, it's probably 1.5 big boxes. And then this is really, let's see, 1, 2, 3, not even 4. So yeah, it's more than 25%, right? And so we hit that negative discordance, extreme negative discordance rule. And the same thing here. I just wanted to give you a picture of the positive discordance one. Positive concordance, where you can see, we never see this, right? This should just look abnormal to you. So I never see a bundle branch block that has this kind of weird morphology here, where there's that concordance there. And so that is something that should worry you. And you can even see here the negative concordance in these leads. And so that is how we can look for occlusion MI in a EKG in somebody who has a left bundle branch or paced rhythms. And of course, the always good rule is when in doubt, get a second EKG.